election. I mean, it's been very, very simple for Obama to go out there and say McCain equals 4 more years of George Bush. McCain equals a Bush third term. There's a lot of dissatisfaction with President Bush's policies, with the fact that Republicans controlled the House and the Senate for 6 of the years during Bush's 2 terms, and spending was out of control, and we didn't really govern on a conservative agenda. So it's very, very easy for him to turn around and say, we need change, and people naturally buy into that.
When did it turn, do you think? What was the moment? I mean, we should be careful. McCain hasn't lost yet, but I can remember during the TV presidential debates that they were pretty much neck and neck and going into the conventions, weren't they? And then Sarah Palin came along and Joe Biden as well, but then it seemed to split. Where do you lay the blame?
McCain lost assuming momentum. That he lost his chance when he backed the bailout. McCain had built a career over the past 8 years. Remember, he ran for president in 2000 as the anti-Bush. I mean, he was, for many, many years, courted by the mainstream media as the maverick, the independent Republican who was against Bush, and said, I'm a Washington outsider, I don't run with the Washington herd. And when the time was right for him to say, no, I'm going against the bailout, I'm not going to support this kind of policy, what did he say? I'm suspending my campaign, and he went back to Washington, and he sat next to Nancy Pelosi and basically rubber-stamped this, the big banks and getting the bailout. That's when he lost it. He showed, in the end, he's not a maverick. He went along with the Washington herd, which is what he staked his career doing the opposite.
But he's actually got the House Republicans to play tough guy and hardball with this in order that he suddenly emerges, who knows when, tomorrow, as the Mr. Fix-It and sorts the whole thing out. Is this being staged?
Perhaps amongst a lot, but McCain has had his differences over the years with the Republican base, and particularly with conservatives. So the idea that they're going to go in line and conduct an elaborate ruse just to benefit him, I think is a bit far-fetched, to be honest.
Okay, so in a sense they're doing his campaign damage, aren't they?
Perhaps. Remember, their responsibilities to their own constituents. They've got to worry about their own re-elections in the November election. This is not just the presidential. 1/3 of the members of the United States Senate and every single one of the 435 members of the House of Representatives is up for re-election. A lot of those people have to be concerned about their own futures.
And I suppose with Gustav, the question is, how does Obama deal with this? How does he get himself on the national stage?
Well, their playbook will be very easy to ascertain. They're clearly going to say Bush fouled up Katrina, McCain equals Bush, therefore McCain is not qualified to be president. They'll just use this as another example to say Republicans are all bad. Republicans fouled up the response to Katrina. We need to change course and go with Democrats.
All politics. George Ajjan, thank you very much indeed for your take.
The decision will reinforce McCain's maverick status, appeal to Democrats who supported Hillary Clinton. Now, that's an interesting one, isn't it? What about all the women who were possibly going to vote for Hillary Clinton? Are they going to totally change sides and now go Republican so that they can vote for a woman?
I wouldn't put too much stock in that, simply because at the end of the day, Democrats are Democrats, and the president and the vice president are in the columns in ballots in all 50 states alongside people running for Senate and House of Representatives and mayor and, down to the local level. And so all those Democrats have a vested interest in making sure that every Democrat on the ticket wins. So the idea that key people are going to back away from Obama just because they are bitter that Hillary lost, I think is a bit unrealistic. It may have an impact, though, on the ability of Obama to raise money from Hillary's supporters. They may choose simply not to come up with the same amount of cash that they gave to Clinton.